What's up guys, Rhino here and welcome back to one of my FIFA 20 Ultimate Team videos on the channel guys. And it's going to be hopefully quite a good one today because there's going to be some packs involved and we're going to be completing one of the Advanced SBCs that have actually been out for, you know, the start, since literally the start of the game, the whole game. They're out every year, just haven't really got around to doing them so far. And obviously hybrid leagues, hybrid nations, as you can see on the screen right now. I'm not going to be doing both in one video, obviously, because that would take quite a long time. Other advanced SBCs are, of course, the League of Nations hybrid, and this year we do actually have the National Pride. You can't quite see the whole name of it there, just because my face is in the way, unfortunately. But the National Pride one there, that's actually the most expensive one, so we're not going to be doing that one straight away. I've only got like 26k at the top, so my thoughts going into this was to do kind of like the cheapest ones first. In the end, I didn't spend any money. These squads have been done entirely with players from my club. But yeah, this is a good place to start. They're the easiest ones to do, so hopefully the video should be quite helpful and useful for you guys to help you get these done if you haven't already. One thing I should point out before I get going on this, we're going to do the hybrid leagues today in this video, guys. Obviously, you know that from the title of the video. This is all literally players in my club, so it's not necessarily going to be the very, very cheapest solution. It's going to be as cheap as I can possibly get it for myself, which is of course going to be, you know, it's going to be near the cheapest solution. I'm not going to go out there and pay like way over the odds, so you guys could use these squads if you wanted to. I wouldn't necessarily recommend copying exactly because, of course, I'm sure you guys have got a lot of players in your club already, so I'd recommend trying to use those players in the squad so you don't have to spend any coins. Of course, like I said, I didn't have to spend anything, so the packs I get from this will be essentially 3, really. I mean, all the players have just been from various like FUT Champions and Div Rivals rewards. So essentially doing this for absolutely nothing. You could go ahead and look at like various kind of like FUT sites, like for example like FUTBin, FUThead or FUTWiz, those sort of sites. They'll have like SBC solutions on there, so you could get the very, very cheapest ones. But like I said, I think it's probably best to go ahead and try and complete them with the players you have first, because ultimately that would probably be cheaper than taking the cheapest solution off a site and having to buy every single player. So try and use your own players, guys, but like I said, you could copy mine, you could copy off a different site. But let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I'm going to actually complete this in the order that I would recommend and I found easiest to do. Now, we're going to start with the first one, but I'm not going to go all the way in order from like give me 5 to 7 league boots and all the way down through. So you'll see as we go. But for this first one, we'll give me 5. The requirements on this one, you need, well, you're allowed exactly 5 leagues in the squad. Only 4 players from the same league is a maximum, and you're only allowed a maximum of 4 players from the same club. You do have to have at least 6 rare players, and it's a 69 rated squad is the minimum requirement, which of course is going to allow us to have a few bronze and silvers in there, which you can see on mine. I do have a bit of a mixture of various quality of players. Now, there's not really like a set way to go about this, guys, to be honest. It's like I said, it's about kind of looking at what you've got in your squad. Now, for me personally, the way I actually started, the starting point to complete this particular squad, I actually had a look through some of like the big major leagues. So I picked up Bundesliga, and I realised that I had these German guys here in Cam, centre mid, and striker, who could all get green links. Obviously, you only had a maximum of 4 players from the same league, so we just stuck with the 4 in that little quartet there. Kind of looked at like the area of the squad where you can get some good links. Now, I know like quite a common place for people to start. They might say, oh, I want my goalkeeper and my 2 centre backs to link. Yeah, that's fine. You could do the centre backs to the centre mid. That would work in quite a nice little quartet. That would be a good choice. But for me personally, it just worked better to go like the striker, the 2 cams, and the centre mid. So I've got Neuhaus, or Neuhaus, however you want to pronounce his name. The striker is Malone, obviously just got from like bronze pattern method. Hoffman, and we've got Drexler as well there. Obviously all like non-rares, so that these players aren't really going to cost a great deal on the market. Pretty much kind of discard players in general, really. And then from there, really, obviously you're kind of trying to get as many green links as possible, really, guys. You only need 80 chemistry, so that's not like a huge amount, but it's enough to require a few green links and to make sure that you are kind of keeping an eye on what you're doing with the players you're putting in, and keeping an eye on the chemistry, because you could quite easily drop below 80 chemistry if you're not careful. But for me, I then actually went to the wide areas and tried to go for slightly more obscure leagues, just because I knew that I didn't want to use up all the players from the major leagues straight away in a squad like this, because I'll need them in some of the later squads are going to be a little bit harder in the main SBC set. So I've gone for Portuguese league on the right side. Right midfielder is Edgar Costa, a silver who costs about, I think about 500, 600 coins. I checked his price on the market. So not really too much. Some silvers can potentially be like a lot more expensive, which is why I try to avoid using them. I tend to go for more like golds and bronze when I only need like a, you know, for example here, like 69 rated squad. You'd think, well, that's just a whole silver squad, but silvers tend to be a little bit more expensive because they're not packed as often as bronze and gold players. So I tend to try and just put in as many bronze as I can, and then use the golds to kind of boost the rating up. I think that's the best way to go about it. But right back, we've got Ricardo Esquial, or however you want to pronounce that. Actually looks like a solid right back to me. Doesn't look too bad. He's a little bit slow, but which is obviously why he's not going to be too expensive, especially because of the league that he's in. So pretty easy option there. Also gets the green link for the Portuguese in the Portuguese league. On the left, we've got French league. There's not a green link going on there, but as you can see, guys, I've got 92 chemistry, so that's not exactly any kind of danger there. We've also got the squad's 72 rated, so we've easily hit the rating requirement. I could have easily maybe dropped it down a little bit, removed a couple of these golds, but they're discard value, so I honestly don't really mind. You know, if you drop some of the golds down, they'd end up becoming silvers, and like I said, some silvers tend to be worth a little bit more, so I don't mind going slightly above the rating requirement on this one. The squad is, you know, more than cheap enough for me, in my opinion. So on the left, we've got Moses Simon, actually a very good player, 5-star weak foot, absolutely rapid, but you know, league, they're 75 rated, he's not got great sort of shooting, and obviously they're not a very good nation link with either, so he's quite a cheap player. And then Sanasi Sai, or Sanasi C, I'm not sure how you pronounce his surname, just again like a random bronze left back really that's gone in there from the bronze pack method. And then it just leaves with the centre backs and the goalkeeper slot, guys. And basically what I did from this point, I had 3 of my leagues in there, so I needed to get 2 more leagues out of this. So just linked up the centre backs. Got two rares actually, two rare bronzes, because we need 6 rares. So we've got Runa Hove and Andreas Hotmark, Norwegian in the Norwegian league, I presume. Yeah, so pretty good link there. And then literally just put in the lowest rated goalkeeper that I had that was rare in my club, just to get the last rare player. So we've got Demba Tiam, who's 6'8", which I did not realise. That is mental. Yeah, and then he finishes it off, and he's a Serie A player. So that is that first squad. And of course, for every single one of these squads you do, you're going to get yourself a little pack. So a prime mixed players pack for that one. Apparently he must have been in like a bronze squad, so I don't know. I don't use him, that's fine. So prime mixed players pack for not really submitting a lot, to be honest, guys. You see like a lot of bronze players in there, so quite an easy one to do. Now, you could just go straight onto 7 league boots, but for me personally, I would actually go onto the supposedly what is the hardest one really. It's called First 11, and that is because these other 3 squads all kind of follow the same sort of trend and pattern. So with this being the hybrid leagues, you're going to need a whole squad from the same nation on this one, guys. You can see you need exactly 11 leagues in this squad. So you can't link players from being from the same club or the same league, because then you won't hit the requirements. So the way, and you need 100 chemistry, so you have to have players all from the same nation in order to get your chemistry. But they make it difficult because they say that you need at least 8 rare players as well, and you have to have a whole gold squad, so you can't just go in and just throw in whatever you want. So from my own kind of personal experience over the, like, you know, these SBCs have been around for a while now, a few different FIFAs they've been out. Brazil tends to be the nation which has the most diverse options in terms of, there's a lot of Brazilians that just play across the whole world, you know, that you get in all the major leagues and all the random leagues as well. If you wanted to look at like the complete opposite, England would be a nation which is just no good for this at all, because nearly all the English footballers, like all the gold English footballers, they all play in the Premier League. So you wouldn't be able to get a full 11 of English players from different leagues that are going to be gold. You get the odd exception, you know, you have like a few players off playing the MLS, so you've got Sancho in the Bundesliga, but majority of them are in the Premier League, so England would not be a good nation to pick for this. Other nations that you could go for, guys, would maybe be like Spain, Portugal, France. There's a few that have players that have dotted around. I think France, a lot of them play in the French league, but they do have a little bit more diversity than what England do. But honestly, guys, I think Brazil is the way to go. And the difficulty is because you need a certain number of rare players. Obviously, there's certain positions that maybe only have like a limited number of rare players in that position. So you do kind of get stuck with certain players that you have to go for, which means that you could end up spending a little bit more on a certain position just to get that different league in there. Now, I didn't experience that personally because obviously all the players were in my club, but I did check the values of the players I was putting in. And I know for the fact that Tyson and Hulk were probably a little bit more than I would like to spend. They were a couple of thousand coins each. Ideally, you'd probably only want to spend like maximum about 1k on each player, really, I'd say, but that was just kind of the way that it fell for me personally. I didn't want to go out and have to spend more coins to get particular players. I've had those guys in my club and I don't mind submitting them. So just to talk you through the squad, what I've got. So there isn't actually like a rating requirement. Mine's just obviously 79 because it's all gold. You just need the 100 chemistry. So in goal, I've got Marcelo Groha, who is from the Saudi League. What I'll do is I'll have the leagues on show here just so it's a bit easier for you guys to kind of visually see it. Right back, we've got Junior Kaysara, who is from the Turkish League. Naldo as a French League player in centre-back. And then we've got Luis Felipe as a Serie A player to go alongside him. Left back is a Bundesliga player in Vendel. Left mid, we've got Bernard, who's somebody I've actually used. He's got like 45 games. He was one when I was still kind of doing it as a first owner road to glory. He was one player that I used a lot, and I didn't really want to submit him, to be honest, but it just kind of felt I had to. Just had to kind of put him in. I don't really mind too much, but it would have been nice to keep him around. Obviously, Premier League player there. The CDM is Portuguese League, Liga NOS, so Eduardo Henrique. I had to shuffle this around. Like, when you just see it on the screen, it looks like it's really, really easy to do, but the amount of times I had to like take a player out and change the position, which had like for example, Portuguese League was actually in centre back at first, but I had to change the CDM just to reshuffle it around. Certain positions, like I said, just have less kind of diversity than others, so it's just the way that it falls, really, guys. Rafinha is there in the left centre mid slot, obviously a La Liga player. Tyson in the right centre mid slot is Ukrainian League, and then obviously Hulk, like we said before, Chinese League for him on the right mid slot there. And then this guy, Chow, who plays in the Arabian League, which is actually quite a useful card to have, to be honest. Like, when I saw that, I thought straight away, I mean, there's no chance I'm going to have any other players from that league. So he was a perfect player to go in there, guys. And that's it, really. So it's simple if you kind of, well, it's not simple, but it looks simple once it's done. But it may take a little bit of time just to kind of like shuffle the players around. But it's not that difficult, guys. Really, you just got to start with this one, I think, because if you're going with players just from your club, if you go through and you say, oh, this, like, that country is the one that I've got the most players from, that I think it'd be easiest to do, you want to use them now instead of using them on the 7 league boots, and you'll see why when it gets round to it. But you'll understand why I've started with that one. But rare players pack, 50k pack for that one. That is absolutely sensational. 12 rare gold players. And like I said, this is, for me, this is all for 3, so you can't really go wrong with that. We're going to move on to the whole 9 yards on this next one. So it's going to be the same concept again, guys. So exactly 9 leagues this time instead of 11. You're only allowed a max of 2 players from the same league and a max of 2 players from the same club. So to be honest, the club thing's kind of irrelevant, really. It doesn't really matter. And then you need at least 6 rares on this one. Not 8 like the previous one, but the big difference in this one, that you do need at least an 80 rated squad. It doesn't actually say you need definitely all golds, but to be honest, to get an 80 rated squad, you're going to need mainly a gold squad. So they do give you that rating requirement, which could make it difficult. It would make it really difficult if they made you have a couple more rares, to be honest, I think, guys. That would make it a big challenge. But Obviously 99 chemistry, that's not really going to be a problem because, again, you can see I've just gone for a team of players all from the same nation. And this time I've picked Spain. Like I said, Spain was obviously quite a good one to do. It worked well for me. I would recommend it alongside Brazil. I think it's a good nation to use for these SBCs. And like I said, obviously Brazil was a good place to start with when you needed like 11 different leagues. There'd be no point in using Brazil on the one where you need 7, because the squad where I needed 7 leagues, I probably wouldn't have had enough players to actually get 11 leagues. If you kind of get what I mean, like I don't explain this right. It's difficult to explain. It's kind of like an idea I've got in my head, but I think you guys and you'll experience it when you do it. But it's just the easiest way to go, guys. You want to use the one where you've got the most players. You want to use it on the one which requires the most diverse squad. I think that's the easiest way to explain it. It makes sense, doesn't it? Like, you just make it as easy as possible for yourself. So what I have done myself, obviously just kind of went through position by position really. So in goal we've got Casillas, obviously Portuguese league player there. We'll go like that again so you can see it. Of course this time we can have a couple of players which are going to be the same. You can't go ahead and say like, oh, like I'm picking Spain, so there's going to be a lot of players from La Liga. So you could just say, oh, I'm going to have 9 players that are different and then have the other 2 from the same league. You can't quite do that because obviously there's a maximum of 2 players from the same league. So you're going to have 2 leagues which are going to be represented twice in the squad, not 1 league that's represented 3 times, unfortunately. So the other Portuguese league player I've got there is Marcano. That's actually a perfect link to Casillas. Not that it really matters because obviously everybody's Spanish in team, so they're all going to get chemistry, but yeah, perfect link there. The La Liga player that we've got is De Marcos at right back, and then we've got Victor Ruiz from Turkish league at centre back. He used to be a La Liga player, but Turkish league now. We've got Bernat at left back. Pretty solid card, obviously PSG, French league there. I've actually got 2 players from the Spanish second division, which is interesting. So Borja Garcia on the left, and then Mbarba on the right, which is pretty useful. Surprisingly, they actually end up having 2 players from the second division and not the Spanish first division. The centre midfielders are actually really useful for this, guys. Really useful players. 2 players from very kind of different leagues that you wouldn't necessarily use too much. So we've got Pozuelo there. Another player 5-star week for that, actually looks a really good card. We've got Andres Iniesta, the absolute legend that it is, in the Japanese league, of course, but he's literally worth about 1,000 coins and he's 83 rated. Holds absolutely like no value on Ultimate Team anymore, unfortunately. Pretty similar to Casillas. So a very good player to use for this particular squad, and obviously because he's 83 rated, it gives you a big boost when you're trying to get that 80 rated squad. Kind of allow me to have like a 75 rated left mid and a 76 rated right mid. So Iniesta's a very useful player, this particular one, guys. And then up front I've actually got 2 centre forwards because all my strikers just didn't work, unfortunately. So I've got Iago Falque, or Falque, or Falque, I'm not really sure how you pronounce his name. He is from Serie A. And then we've got Iozo Perez from the Premier League. And obviously that's 9 different leagues. Like I said, we've got the two Portuguese league players there, and we have the 2 players from the Spanish second division. Everything else is completely different, and because it's all from the same nation, gets us 100 chemistry. Well, obviously we don't need 99, but it gets us 100, and it's an 80 rated squad, and that gets you a mega pack, guys, which is obviously a 35,000 coin pack, which is pretty good to go alongside your 50k pack and your prime mixed players pack as well. And we're going to get another pack from this one. Also, you get another pack for completing the entire set. So we're going to get a lot of players here. I seem to have put in a player, which is unfortunate. I was hoping I wouldn't have gone through this whole thing with with players. I thought I managed to get it, they're all different, but obviously that right back that I've put in must have been the Portuguese right back that was next to the in the very first squad. But we'll sort that out in a second, guys. So the next one. 7 league boots. So exactly 7 leagues, so a little bit easier this time. You're allowed a maximum of 3 players from the same league, maximum of 3 players from the same club. It has to be at least a 78 rated squad. Doesn't say you definitely need golds or anything like that, it just has to be at least 78 rated. It needs to have at least 85 team chemistry, so not too bad on the chemistry requirement, makes it a little bit easier. So again, like I said, you know, it follows the same kind of concept as the previous squads. Before with whole Brazil squad, whole Spain squad. This time I went for a whole Portugal squad, which worked quite nicely for me. I was actually surprised that Portugal managed to have all the players from different leagues. I didn't really expect it, but I thought it was worth checking, and you know, they delivered for me, which is quite fortunate. So in goal, we have got Jose Sá from Olympiacos, which is obviously the Greek league. Then we've got Portuguese league player in Faro. I've actually got 3 players from the French league. So we've got Pedro Mendes at centre back, alongside Jose Font, and also Adrian Silva as well, who's obviously in that league now. Left mid, we have got Ronnie Lopez, obviously Sevilla in the Spanish league. Then I've got 2 Premier League players, so I've got Ruben Neves and Diogo Dalot, obviously slightly out of position, but because you need 85 chemistry, you can kind of afford to do that. And then, whilst I just back out, I have got the hero of the Euro 2016 final. We've got Eder, who scored that wonder goal against France. What a goal that was. So he's from the Russian league, which is interesting. And then we've got Nani from the MLS as well. 5-star for him this year. If he had a little bit more pace, he would be a hell of a card. And then right wing, obviously I did have that right back. I don't know what he was called. I can't remember now. I'm wondering if we might be able to just quickly stick someone in. I don't think it will necessarily need to be somebody from the same league. Just want to make sure that this will work. I think that probably will work, to be honest. Yeah, that will work. So we're going to go for Miguel Silva, guys, in goal, as a goalkeeper on the right wing. He is obviously from the Portuguese league, and we have one other Portuguese league player there. In fact, that is actually perfect, because the right back also was from the Portuguese league before, so that gets us the exact 7 leagues. So that's worked quite nicely there, actually, guys. Obviously the little unfortunate error with the player getting submitted, but that works. So yeah, again, just a full national squad, guys. And you'll notice that when you do obviously this is the hybrid leagues, when you do the hybrid nations, instead of being like a team like fully from one nation, you'll need a team that's fully from one league. They're like the opposites of each other. They're the reverse, but I'll touch on that in the next video, which will probably be tomorrow, guys, hopefully. But just this one today. So you get the rare mega pack to finish that off, guys, and that is that SBC done. Advanced leagues is very good. We get 5 really good packs, so I'm hoping we can get some money out of this. Obviously, in an ideal world, that was it's kind of what you want, isn't it? Normally, I try and get these done kind of as quickly as possible at the start of the year when the player price is a little bit higher, but I couldn't necessarily afford them at that point in the game, so I've kind of got them done now when I've got more players in my club and a little bit more money. And we do start with a board in our first pack, so it's a very good start. It's going to be Aranguiz. It never seems to be Vidal with this, unfortunately, but it's good to start with board, I guess. We need a couple of walkouts, really. We got Adrian in goal there. Look at that, what a hero. Lodero to sell. And of course, you know, we've expended a lot of players because I didn't buy anyone for this, but we're going to get a lot of players back, and hopefully, you know, some of these players that we get back are going to be considerably more valuable than the ones that we submitted. This isn't going to be anything in this one, unfortunately. I'm quite hopeful for the 50k pack and the rare mega pack. I feel like that we got quite a good chance of getting something big in one of those. I'll be disappointed if we get absolutely nothing, guys, I've got to say. But I know that, you know, there's a big chance it could happen. We're going to move on to the mega pack now, so we're getting on to the slightly more serious packs. We've got a big chance to get something in a mega pack. Doesn't look like there's anything there, though. No, not even a board. Bergwijn, who I think I already have. Pretty sure I already have Bergwijn. Yeah. Oh, Stevie G. Oh. Shame it's not the player version. Yeah, Bergwijn and Tielemans to sell. And the South Africa badge, we'll just discard that because that won't sell. I'm trying to think what we'd go for next. Probably, we've got to go for the rare mega pack, really, haven't we? Just because we're probably not going to get 12 rare gold players in that. So we're going with a rare mega pack, even though it's actually the pack that has more value. This is at least a board. It is just a board. And it's not a special card. It's going to be... Who is that? Oh, a Kirby. Or a Serbi, whatever it's called. Average. Trap as another board there. A few more players to add in. Get the England badge, Benfica kit, Real Madrid away kit, which looks pretty nice. And De La Feu, which is an interesting card. Probably holds a little bit of value just because he actually comes out as a right forward already. So, not bad. So we're going to end with a rare players pack, guys. Hopefully we can get a walkout for this video. For the effort that we put in to get this done. It's a board. It is just a board. It's not going to be a walkout. Spanish goalkeeper. It's going to be Kepa Arrizabalaga, 84 rated. Actually the best player that we got. Surprisingly. Do we get any more 84s in there? Ooh, we get a Champions League Joe Gomez though. Very good. I have like normal Joe Gomez already in the club, but Champions League version of him now, which is a good addition to the club. James Milner as well. Loving that. Yeah, and a couple of players actually that we already submitted. So Nani, Simon, and then yeah, just a few players that aren't really worth a lot. That's a pretty poor 50k pack in general though, really, to be honest. Like literally all like in the 70s, apart from a couple of these 80s and 81s. Obviously got Kepa, but if we didn't have Kepa there, that would be an embarrassing pack. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the video, guys. Hopefully that was quite useful and it helped you out to get these squads done. So if it was, feel free to smash the like button. Obviously comment to let me know what you got in these packs from this SBC. It doesn't have to be the hybrid leagues. Let me know what you got in any of the advanced SBCs. So just quite interested to know, obviously, because I'm going to be doing those coming up. So hopefully some of the other ones are a little bit more fruitful. I should probably say as well, just before I end, that SBC in general, if you were to buy it, it should cost about 20,000 coins. I'm not sure on the exact values of each individual squad, but I did see that the overall value of it would be 20,000 coins. So 20,000 coins to get all those packs, and obviously, you know, they didn't work out too great for me, but for you guys, obviously, if you get something good in the packs, then that's going to be a very, very successful SBC. And it's just 100% value for money. It's not like some of the SBCs they bring out where they're just way overpriced. That these are really good value for money SBCs, guys. Obviously, even if you don't get something that sells straight away, you could get something that's, you know, it goes up in value because of something that happens later on in the year, or it's just more players for your club. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting these done. They didn't really work out for me, but let me know, guys, if they did work out for you in the comment section below. And if you want to see the up and coming advanced SBCs that I'm going to be doing on the channel, and just all my other like Ultimate Team videos in general, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. That would be much appreciated. I never get that bit right, do I? I always slur my words on that bit. But yeah, that is it from me, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you later.